What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of iTHRIVE Radio. Yes, we're back in the studio, aka the spare bedroom, right next to the master bedroom. Um, Super excited for another episode of this podcast. I've taken a little break from the podcast for around 3 to 4 weeks or so, just because I was just so busy with studying for the dietetic exam, studying for my registered dietitian's exam. Um, I basically just could not focus on literally anything else other than studying because I wanted to pass that exam, which brings me to the big news is that I passed, and now I'm officially a registered dietitian. It's just crazy thinking that now I've finally kind of achieved this and I have that title and I've kind of finally gotten to the finish line, I guess you could say, um, around like a year ago or so. Um, I, I mean, I've talked about this on the podcast a bunch of times, so I'm not going to go like super in depth, but I was going through some really challenging times a year ago, even like 8 months ago or so. And um, there was definitely a point around a year ago where I just really, really doubted that I would get to this endpoint that I'm at right now, and that I would actually, finish my internship, finish passing my exam, and become a registered dietitian. So it feels very, very surreal to be where I'm at right now. I am unbelievably thankful for everyone that's helped me along the way. Um, all of the fellow RDs, now I can call them fellow RDs, but RDs that I've communicated with in the past, they've helped me out so much. And it's just amazing. But back to the first off, I wanted to say now that because I am done with school, done with my internship, done with studying for the exam, I have a lot more free time. And what I'm going to be looking to do now is to be taking on more clients now that I have more free time. I didn't want to take on a ton of clients when I was in my internship and when I was studying because I didn't want the quality of my coaching to go down because I just didn't have enough time, and I wanted to make sure each client got the service that they actually, paid for and got the results that they wanted. But now that I have more free time, I'm able to take on more clients. So I'm definitely looking to take on more clients, definitely looking to, make a huge impact, help people make the changes that they want, whether it's lose body fat, build muscle, improve their strength or performance in the gym, or just overall feel better and improve their confidence. I'm definitely here to do that. And I'm really, really excited for it to grow in 2021. So if you are interested in that, I'm going to leave a link to apply to coaching in the description of this podcast. Or just reach out to me on any social media and we'll talk and we'll hop on a phone call and see if, the program is good for you. And we'll get you on the right path to seeing results. But I wanted to get into the podcast episode now. And the topic for today is going to be why your New Year's resolutions suck. So honestly, I would say I'm probably a fan of New Year's resolutions in general. I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, why are you setting a New Year's resolution? You should be making changes right now. Why are you waiting till the new year? I don't really have that mentality towards New Year's resolutions. I think that they can be great for a lot of people. I think just starting a new year, you can have that mentality to where it's kind of a fresh start, a clean slate. And you aren't going to, change completely in one day, just because it's a new year, but it can be kind of a starting point for some people to actually start making some changes and start seeing results. So I think overall, New Year's resolutions can be a good thing. But you need to be setting your New Year's resolutions correctly and setting the right goals, which we're going to talk about in this podcast, or else, you're probably not going to make much progress, if any progress at all. So a lot of you guys probably set New Year's resolutions, which I've seen multiple times on Facebook, people talking about it, even people just talking about it to me in person in conversation. They set goals like lose 20 pounds. Maybe they want to squat 200 pounds this year. They want to finally get abs for the summer. Or they want to run like 1 mile in less than 7 months, or not 7 months, in less than 7 minutes. But I would say most people, they probably set some kind of like weight loss goal, or they want to achieve some type of body. That's kind of the New Year's resolution that they set. And these aren't necessarily bad goals to have. They can be good goals. They could be good milestones to hit throughout the year. Don't get me wrong. But there is a problem with setting goals like this. And the problem that comes with setting goals like this is that they only really stress or focus on a specific outcome. So, like lose 20 pounds, squat 200 pounds, get abs, all of those things that I listed there, they're all outcomes that you can achieve. They're not like actual things that you can do every single day to reach a certain outcome. I mean, maybe squat 200 pounds is something you can technically do, but it's not something you can do right now. Like if your squat max is 150 pounds today, and by the end of the year you want to squat 200 pounds, you can't just go into the gym and squat 200 pounds. That's not something tangible that you can actually take action on and do right now. So you need actual steps or tangible actions, just things that you can do right now, things that you can do on January 1st, January 3rd, January 4th, whenever you are listening to this podcast. You need actual actions that you can do right now, today, in order to get you to that end goal that you want. So these goals that we kind of mentioned before, like lose 20 pounds, squat 200 pounds, things like that, those are what I would like to call outcome driven goals. Instead of like focusing on a specific task or action you can do today, you have more of like this mentality, like I want to achieve this in the long term. But if you want to like truly be successful with your New Year's resolutions, you have to make the bulk of your New Year's resolution goals or focus be more process driven goals. So these are goals that you can actually take action on each and every day. You can do every single day, and you kind of check off and make sure that you're doing them to make progress towards that long-term achievement that you want. So these are things like go for a walk for maybe 20 minutes every single day. That could be your kind of process goal, and you have a little checklist or chart, or maybe you have a notebook that you write that down every day and you just check it off every single day you do that. And then by the end of the week, maybe you have like 6 or 7 check marks and you're like, okay, like I did really good this week of hitting my goal of going for a 20-minute walk every day. Another example of this could be something like eat a serving of fruit with breakfast every single day. Maybe lifting 4 times per week, and then you set out what specific days you're going to lift. So you're going to lift maybe Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and you write that in your notebook and you check off each of those days that you do end up going to the gym and lifting. And that's kind of your process goal that you have. And all of those things can get you, to that long-term milestone or outcome that you want eventually. But these are really good, tangible things that you can actually take action on today and do. So the best way to go about creating your New Year's resolution goals and to not making them suck is to start with an outcome goal that you want. So one of those goals we listed before, like lose 20 pounds, squat 200 pounds, and kind of work backwards to create your process goals and try to narrow it down to something you can do in a specific day. So for example, let's say you want to lose 15 pounds by June 7th. So that's about 6 months from now, which I counted it out comes to 21 weeks. So you want to lose 15 pounds in the next 21 weeks. So if you work backwards, that's about 0.7 pounds per week that you're losing in order to get to 15 pounds by June 7th, which we already know that around a pound of body fat is around 3,500 calories roughly. So that would equal about a 2,500 calorie deficit for a week. All right. So now we kind of took that long-term goal that lasts around 6 months or 21 weeks. We kind of narrowed it down to what we need to do each week. And then from there, the 2,500 calorie deficit, we can divide that by 7 days in a week. And then we come to around a 350 calorie deficit per day that we need in order to reach that goal of losing 15 pounds in 21 weeks. So now we have a specific thing that we can do each day. Now, 350 calorie deficit, what does that exactly look like? Let's say if you burn around 2,500 calories a day, then a good number to maybe start with would be 2,150 calories a day. That's about a 350 calorie deficit if you burn 2,500 calories a day. Obviously, there's going to be some variation, if you, have a little less activity here, a little less activity there. Once you've been in a calorie deficit and actually lost weight after a few weeks, our metabolisms go down a little bit, so that number will change. But it's just a really good example of taking like a long-term 6-month goal and narrowing it down to something you can do every single day, hit 2150 calories. Now, a calorie deficit for 21 weeks straight is pretty long. So maybe you decide to add in like a 3 to 4 week maintenance phase right in the middle of that 21 weeks. And then maybe you go for a slightly faster pace of weight loss during your actual cutting weeks of like a pound per week. That's just another example too. But working backwards to create those process goals that are more short term that you can actually achieve in a certain day helps to give you something that you can actually do and something you can actually kind of check off every day. And that keeps you motivated too. Every time you check off that little process goal that you have each day, keeps you motivated and helps you know that you're heading in the right direction, basically. Another example is if you want to hit a squat PR this year. When you break that down backwards, you can come to a short-term goal or short-term process goal of squatting 2 times per week. So now you have kind of a weekly squatting goal. Now you can break that down further into the days that you do squat. So let's say you squat on Monday and Thursday. You have like a daily process goal when you do squat then of, hitting each rep with really good form, hitting each rep at the prescribed intensity that your coach or your program gives you each day. The point is that if it's not a goal that you can actually act on in the moment, then it's not a very good goal to put all of your focus in. It doesn't mean that you have to forget about these long-term milestones completely, because I think having more like big long-term milestones, they can help you stay motivated at times. Times you don't really want to go and do the work. You don't want to go and do the process every day. And you think, okay, like this is my end goal. This is what I'm working towards. That can help to motivate you at times when you are feeling a little less driven, but they shouldn't be the sole focus of your goals. And that is why a lot of your guys' New Year's resolutions honestly suck, because a lot of times you don't work backwards and create those process goals. You just have these long-term goals, and then each day you're kind of just like guessing, and you don't really have a set plan or a process that you do each day to end up getting there. And then, you go 4 weeks into the year and you still haven't really made much progress, or you just don't really know if you are making progress in the right direction because you don't have these processes that you're checking off and completing each day. So I hope this information was helpful for you guys. I have some really big goals for this podcast this year. I want to achieve around 4 to 5 times the amount of total downloads that we had last year. I had a little bit of a goal to get a certain number of downloads by the end of 2020 last year, and we fell just a little short of the goal. So I have kind of a chip on my shoulder because of that. And, a lot of that was because I didn't really come out with a podcast episode for the last entire really month of December, because I was studying for my exam, which is fine. But I really want to, push out episodes this year, really have a lot of really cool guests on and really grow this thing, because I really think this information is super helpful for you guys. So if you guys know of anyone who would benefit from the podcast, who would be interested in this stuff, definitely share it with them so we can get more views or get more downloads, have more people listen, more people learn, more people getting helpful information to kind of change their lives. So hopefully you guys liked this episode. Hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys in the next one.